The scale of the crisis is so massive. We're talking about illnesses, lost crops, displaced communities, and the effects of what's happened this year will be felt for at least a generation. Climate change is making weather events more extreme, more dangerous. My name's Zein Basravi. I'm a correspondent for Al Jazeera. I've been covering Pakistan for about 20 years, and between us, I've never seen the magnitude of a crisis as bad as the floods that hit Pakistan this year. I covered the floods in 2010, and we spent much of that time in rural Sindh province back then. And what was fundamentally different this time was how many more people were displaced in such a short amount of time. If you look at it in terms of numbers, we're looking at UN and government estimates of about 33 million people affected, millions displaced, a landmass the size of the United Kingdom submerged in a matter of days. It really hits hard when you look at it one family at a time, one person at a time, one community at a time. We went to a rural village where we met one family who had taken shelter in what they thought was the newest, safest building in their village. And in the middle of the night, the rainfall was so heavy and so sudden that the roof of this building caved in and collapsed on everybody inside. But about 4 or 5 people, including 4 very young children, were killed.
The rain was not like this before. I just want to tell the world, prepare yourselves.
The survivors were just in complete shock. One of the mothers of 2 of the kids that died in this disaster couldn't even speak. She hadn't been able to speak for a week. And all she could do is move from one place to another and just sit with her children, just holding on to the children that survived the night. I remember at one point we were live in a location where there was floodwaters behind us, and there was some people living in a tent encampments. And as the sun started going down, people started lighting fires to keep the bugs away, to stay warm, to cook their meals. One after another, fires started around these camps as families started to gather together. And just as it got dark, we heard the women begin to sing. The whole camp slowly started to sing together. And it was just these folks trying to have a little bit of peace, a little bit of normality, just trying to calm their kids down. And it was just a sort of strange, calm and peaceful moment in what was an absolutely chaotic situation. There is no doubt that climate change has absolutely made what is happening in Pakistan far more extreme. At the same time, climate change was not the reason for the enormous gap between the rich and the poor in Pakistan, the enormous disparity in wealth and resources, the lack of development and investment in infrastructure or early warning systems or water management systems. COP27 sounds like just another big global level summit style meeting that will be meaningless, absolutely meaningless to the people that are suffering at the sharpest end of the stick here. If these meetings and these leaders don't do something to bring tangible change to the daily lives of people suffering right now from the impacts of climate change, then those people will move from where they are towards bigger cities. They will move from their countries to other countries. We scratched the surface of what's happening on the ground in Pakistan. We could have spent months there and still not gotten to the heart of how bad this crisis is. People were just happy that someone was there to listen to what they were going through. We try to be as respectful as possible and focus on trying to tell their story. And that sort of helps to not focus on the absolute grief and trauma you are seeing people going through. We often meet people at the worst moments of their lives. And it's very humbling when those people in those circumstances receive you so warmly and are glad that you are there and are happy to open up to you.